Mass shooting this morning at an elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut. This is Fairfield County, where students K through 4 attend. This morning at about 9:30, 9:40, gunfire rang out, and as we're told, a gunman walked in dressed in dark clothes, and the sources that are telling Jonathan Deans went into the principal's office, shot the principal, and then made his way to his mother's kindergarten classroom where she was a teacher and opened fire there. The school immediately went on lockdown. Teachers were told by the students, locked the doors to classrooms, sort of corralled children up into corners and against the walls until police came to tell them to evacuate. In some cases, children were reportedly told by police, run, keep on running until you get the firehouse. The firehouse nearby was the staging scene where parents were reunited with the children who survived this shooting.
You see the numbers there, 18 children among the victims, 8 adults dead. Our Jonathan Deans working as sources identifying the shooter as Ryan Lanza, who apparently has a tie or a home in Hoboken.
Notice how they say the name of someone being arrested and make the image look like that. That in itself is guilty. This is General Electric, and I'm watching them instead of Lou Young down on the road and Jim Hoffer on ABC asking relatives like they should be. Instead, I'm like, oh, here, it's wrapping up.
And so is the mourning.
And you want to know at this
that
point.
Is shaken to its core.
You're fixated and you don't want to
Sheldon
be.
Dutez is in Newtown. He's been talking with neighbors, and as you might imagine, this is the topic of conversation for many of them. Sheldon, describe the reaction now that some 5 hours after this shooting happened, when the picture is becoming clear about the enormity of this tragedy.
Well, the horror really is setting in for a lot of folks. We've seen people huddled around TVs watching the updates coming in and consoling each other as they're watching those updates on the television. We've seen people crying as they've come down that hill, and remember, the school is up that way as they were heading up that direction. Traffic is still blocked in this area, only open to foot traffic, as people try to make their way up there and find out some more information. I told you guys the last time that we spoke, we've seen a handful of parents coming down this way. Fortunately, for all the parents that we've seen, they were walking hand in hand with children. We did see one woman crying, very distraught, did not talk to us, but we have learned that grief counselors are on the scene in the area right now. And just to give you guys a little perspective on where we are, there are some businesses and restaurants just behind the camera over this way, and then the school is up that way. So a lot of people congregating for lunch, trying to make sense of what's going on, trying to comfort each other. They say that this is a very sleepy, safe community, a very good sense of community among the people who live here, and they're just devastated and shocked by what they're learning every hour.
I imagine they are, Sheldon. Again, we talk about this community, barely an hour's drive from New York City, really, Contessa. One of the small ones, big suburb, as you know, for New Yorkers, those who work and live in the city. And you can see, we continue to update the bottom of the screen here with details on the alleged gunman wearing all black. And again, we've been reporting apparently his mother, a teacher at that school.
Yeah, a kindergarten teacher, no less. And Jonathan Deans reporting that most of the casualties may have come from that kindergarten classroom where she was teaching when her son allegedly walked in and opened fire. Again, that coming from one source to Jonathan Deans. We're working on confirming that with multiple sources at this point. We have been told that at least 2 weapons were recovered. They reportedly were 9mm handguns, but in a shooting of this magnitude, it may be possible that there is another weapon, and there have been some reports that it was a .223 caliber rifle as well, and we're working to get more information about what the gunman had on him, that he was capable of leaving so much death and mayhem in his wake. And a short time ago, our sister station, WBIT, spoke with a young man whose little sister is a student at Sandy Hook Elementary. He says he rushed there to get to her as soon as he heard about the shooting.
Well, I mean, the first thing I saw when I was there was I saw 3 injured children, all 3 of them female, and one of them was very bloody, had a very bloody face, and then 2 other ones were carried out by a state trooper. They were not moving, and they looked, I thought it was my sister at first, so there was not a lot of security, so I got near to get a closer look, and unfortunately they looked very pale, very injured, it was bad.
Now, you went there to actually rescue your sister, right? And what did your sister tell you about the situation?
Well, I mean, again, she was very frightened when she came out. She was crying. All the other students were crying. And the thing she told me was that it really started when she heard gunshots and she heard screams on the intercom. The intercom came on and there were screams. And, you know, the school went on lockdown. And based on what she said, she was in art class and they were hiding in the closet and tiny